Hello and welcome back to GiantBomb.com. This is Monday, the day before E3 2014 starts. It's press conference day. We just got finished with Microsoft, and now we're getting ready for Electronic Arts. They are expected to have a pile of games. There's been talk out there that they're going to have like 6 new game announcements. Yeah. And it looks like they're getting ready to get underway. So why don't we take a look? It looks like people are getting seated, I guess.
Are they holding their press conference inside Tron?
Always.
Let's go to our man in the field.
Let's go to our man in the field, Chris Waters, who's sitting at another table somewhere else.
Watching this.
All right. So they have not gotten started just yet. But yeah, so some of this stuff is expected stuff. You know, they're going to put out another round of sports games. Actually, it was just this morning. We don't know if it'll be there. But just this morning, they finally confirmed that they are going to make a basketball game this year.
Yeah.
I love the fact that can be an open question, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they put out some images of player faces and said, "Yep, NBA Live 15 is coming in October." So
did they ever do, like, I remember when that last game launched, they put out that big open "we're sorry" letter, like continued updates and commitment to this game. Did any of that happen?
I mean, it wasn't exactly following it, so maybe they did.
Past November, I don't think they said a damn word about that game, honestly.
Yeah. So we'll see what that ends up being, if it ends up being there. But we can expect, FIFA, obviously Madden, that's where NHL is coming to new consoles this year. And it sounds like that they were out there kind of teasing that we would see some Mirror's Edge 2 stuff. That was something that they briefly teased last year. I have to imagine that Star Wars Battlefront will show up here.
Question is in what capacity, Longer CG trailer? Do they actually have a game to show?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd imagine they probably show some of the game.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah, definitely. So they'd have to have something to show.
You get in a ship and you fly off the planet, you fly to a new planet.
That sounds cool.
Well, that was the whole pitch of Battlefront 3, right? Which never came out, but that was the whole idea of like the ground combat, then going up into space.
Space combat.
Cool. Battlefield Hardline, of course. That game getting announced in the run up to the show.
Do you think if that leak hadn't happened, this was something they absolutely wanted to hold for this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm embargoed from telling you things about it until soonish. So yes, they very much were. I don't think they.
So was that part of the 6 then? So it's just 5?
I would imagine that would be one of the 6.
Okay, yeah.
I would imagine that would count as one of the 6. But
no, go find another one.
Sims 4. Obviously that's been in development for a while. So
you think they spend a lot of time with that?
I bet they give it an average length demo. Shows them walking around. I got a demo of it not that long ago.
That's one of the few things that's coming this year, so
it
makes sense they would want to dedicate some time
all
to
their
it.
sports stuff will come this year and all that stuff too. But yeah,
sports don't count.
We'll
They're
have
every
to
year.
kind of wait and see what happens. I don't know. There's a ton of classic franchises in the EA catalog that they could go back to at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And
New Magic Carpet,
Nuclear Strike.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Actually, like a nuclear strike for XBLA or something.
Are they getting started here?
They're getting started.
Looks like we're getting started.
I see dice.
This is Sweden.
I just saw an Empire Strikes Back probe droid outside the window.
We've all grown up with it. And now we
up
have
there.
dice,
There
have the
is probe
opportunity of a
droid.
lifetime to make the Star Wars game that, as fans, we've all dreamt of playing.
A little bit more.
Get a little more volume.
Yeah.
To stay as true to the films as possible,
Gary Whitta.
we went back to
He's hosting the EA press conference.
The actual models and props used in the movies was an incredibly emotional experience.
That's pretty cool.
That is
That would be really
Man,
cool.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
That we want to get
I bet
into
it's
the game.
a lot of don't fuck this up, don't break it,
Don't break this. Don't break this.
Are you going to sneeze? Get out of here.
But to immerse players in iconic Star Wars battles will take more than just authentic weapons and vehicles. We went to the original movie to capture the environments.
for them.
Isn't that in the North Bay?
It is.
Yeah.
That's Mirror Woods, I
The
think.
early results
Yep.
are
Get a
truly
little more
Wow.
volume on the conference.
Well then.
Also, this game costs $800 million.
Oh, maybe this is all we're going to get.
Team.
Like, sorry, Battlefield 4 was broken. We were focused on this. Like, what is the message here?
And some of the best technology in the industry.
Show me what you do.
But above all, it is our passion for Star Wars that will bring this legacy to life like never before.
That game is going to look incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That says in-engine footage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What happens when they have to like scale it down to make it run on consoles, though?
As
Like what?
someone once said, Do or
Let
do
us just
not.
have this moment, though.
There is no try.
This moment of hope.
Oh, that's it? Is that all we get?
See more spring 2015,
Not,
which
not
means
going to be out.
No,
Right.
See more.
that is next Christmas.
Yep. Yeah, you knew that was going to
Well,
be
when they
super
announced
early.
that game, they had just gotten the rights. They said
Welcome everyone.
starting from scratch.
to the
Yeah.
Electronic
Holy
Arts
shit, that jacket.
E3 preview
That
show
hair.
coming to you from the Shrine Expo Hall in Los Angeles. We're live on Spike TV. We're
Looks like an
streaming
Android person
around
from
the
AI.
world.
Yeah.
We're ready
Or like
to
Max
kick off
Headroom or
E3.
something.
Like he is the Jude
So
Law
thanks for
character
joining
in AI.
He's like so
Thanks
well
to you, Doug,
manicured.
for starting us off with a look at one of our most ambitious new games, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes, please applaud this game.
Those claps always sound really funny because you can't pick up any of the audience claps, so it just
Yeah.
sounds like a.
dozen new experiences
Also, it's like blowing
that are
out
being
his
built
mic.
by creative teams with a love for games. For the people who matter most, our players.
Jacket.
We're doing the
Yeah,
show a
I
little
don't know.
differently, though.
Look away
so let
from
me
it.
set the stage.
It's like I can't hear a
We've
word
got
he's
Dash
saying.
today,
Kind of,
just
I'm
a
expecting
few
wings
months
to
from
sprout
being
out from
done.
behind him. He's
Yeah.
just going to fly away.
Behind the scenes.
Black wings.
Clockwork. Black.
Concept visuals and raw prototypes of
What if he
just
gets pulled up on a rope like a Circus du Soleil
All
thing?
right, yeah.
We'll explore interesting worlds, epic landscapes, and ridiculous action. We'll also hear
Ridiculous.
thoughtful
Like this
reflections on
outfit
what's
I'm wearing.
inspiring the future from some of our most passionate creative leaders. Everything we've got for you here today is
Right, like if
tied
another
together
version of him
by a
walks out
common
onto
thread.
stage, I would not be surprised.
To put our players first.
Which, yeah, the first video game press conference is going to do a holographic representation.
Connect, inspire,
It's just a Tupac hologram
challenge,
hosting
and
the EA
entertain.
conference.
A commitment to lead with creativity and innovation, imagining new ideas for a new generation, and a commitment to listen to you. It's about putting the games into your hands and inviting you to help us make them better. This
'Cause
is
we
the
don't know how to do
foundation
it.
for Electronic
Clearly.
Arts.
Is that like a running theme of this year's E3?
Yeah. It's like, fuck, man, you say you know best. Fine, you make the game.
This is the year. This is
We're
the year the
crowdsourcing
online,
all EA game development.
suddenly the online community.
Or maybe that's like, Microsoft and
Guides
EA's
everything.
mea culpa of
Early
like,
glimpse inside two more
we
new
messed up, but you
projects
messed up too,
from
because you need to
Yeah,
tell
we're
us.
listening
Yeah.
to you.
at BioWare.
Got some BioWare.
I'm sure we lead with Dragon Age.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mass Effect is your closer.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a screen setup. Nice.
Okay.
2 hours, you said, huh?
That's the time they were voting.
All right. I get it now.
Yeah. Some people saying that the audio of the conference is too low going out.
I've never enjoyed like electric cellos. I always find those things really weird. They're just sticks.
It's a weird thing to have a strong opinion about, Alex.
I have a lot of very interesting opinions about the dumbest things.
Now let me tell you all of them.
This is kind of cool, though.
That kind of, but like, is this remember that Dragon Age song? I can't believe they're playing it live. I don't know.
Is this
Then
like
you
the
did a
Dragon Age
particularly
song?
memorable
No, like,
soundtrack.
I don't know. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, this would be really cool if it were Halo.
Yeah, sure.
Or Game of Thrones or something.
Or maybe this is an artist I don't
Actually, if
know.
they just played the Game of Thrones track over this, I'd be alright with that.
it would totally work.
Or we're like, hey, here's Yo-Yo Ma. He's going to play, like, the Dragon Age theme.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this just sounds like generic fantasy, whatever. Not saying it's bad, but yeah,
No.
it doesn't like evoke nostalgia.
I'm just not sure it's adding much for, I don't know. I'm not here to criticize the cellist.
The love theme from Dragon Age.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I feel like that was a bit of footage that said nothing about the game.
If her cello exploded.
Minutes are over, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Who?
All the fields.
God.
Get the fuck off the stage!
You mother.
Of the next generation of BioWare games, where we'll combine powerful.
Wow, we got our
narratives
Peg on
with
2 moment out of the way real early.
gameplay, so you can explore and discover with more freedom than ever before. In Dragon Age Inquisition, you step into a world on the brink of chaos as the Inquisitor. Your past and motivations are shrouded in
Common
mystery.
sentiment in the chat is I feel sorry for them having to go up against The Witcher 3.
You'll assemble
Sure.
a team of unique
but I
and
think
powerful
they've
This
got-
doesn't look bad. I mean,
No,
like,
no,
the
it does.
Inquisition looks
forces of
good.
evil.
Also, they've got a few months
Together,
on The Witcher, I
you'll
think.
become legends
I hope
in the
those
Dragon
games
Age.
Yeah,
very
Witcher.
different.
Yeah, Witcher is
Choice
late
in how
February.
you
Yeah.
lead your team
February
into the heat of battle.
24th?
And we're going to give you a taste of that today.
I mean, I hope you can pause this game at some
One way
point.
to approach combat.
Could you pause it
is
too?
right into the heat
Yeah.
of the
They've
action.
They've shown the pull-out
As you're about
overhead
to see,
tactical thing.
Playing this
Yeah.
way gives you the ability to take control of different party members. You can use their skills to help you succeed in battle against the apex predator of our world, a
Randy
high
Orton.
dragon.
Maybe this trailer just ends with him RKOing a dragon.
Yeah, right?
That looks real good.
Yeah.
Heading over here.
Could use a hand. What on the rock?
That front right leg has its own health bar.
I don't know, something about this seems unmanageable. Pause the fucking game. This is like stressing me out.
I mean, it's pretty actiony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
So one of the things they said about when they were talking about this game was that this game would serve as kind of a template for what you might expect out of BioWare in the future. In terms of just like world size and stuff like that. Which I thought was an interesting
Now,
thing for them to
another way
say.
to approach combat is to use the tactical camera.
There
More
you go.
powerful than ever before.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, Vinny. You can let go of that breath.
Pausing the battle.
We didn't make a trailer for
You position
this,
your
though.
party on the field, issue orders, and
No
take
one's gonna
ultimate
use this
This
shit.
is boring, so whatever.
Whether you choose an action or tactical approach, these heroes won't just fight beside you across our expansive, beautiful open world.
They'll fight
They are
inside you.
true companions with their own stories to discover. I want to leave you with a first look at some of your team of heroes.
Well, I've always been a dwarf, and I'm really excited to be in.
I'm the
yeah.
CEO of Electronic Arts. and I'm gonna be-
The threat has brought them from across the world. Blackwall, a Grey Warden will be no stranger to giving his life in defense of others. And this war may ask it from all of us.
Oh, everyone was like really excited. Some lady was coming back.
Stop touching the
Dragon
wings.
Age
the-
three.
Just stop
the
it.
witch?
Strength
Some witch?
What's her name, like Morgan or something like that?
Yeah, it's got to be. If
as
anybody's.
passionate and reactionary
She was the focus
as
of the
ground
teaser, I think,
swell
last
she
year,
brings.
or like was the close of it. That's like all I know.
The Iron Bull, a Kunari mercenary strong
I've got
enough to
horns.
overcome anything except the life he left behind. Vivienne, a mage with both ambition and incredible power.
And the dopest hat.
What was her true agenda? The time has come for us to stand together. Whatever we were before, we are now the Inquisition.
I feel like that didn't necessarily show that much.
No.
Oh, what? Oh,
What?
oh.
Ha!
What? Nope.
You gotta be fucking kidding me!
Interactive narrative.
Here we are. Okay.
Oh,
We're back.
Start designing the next Mass Effect game. We start by asking fans what they want. You know, what Mass Effect
Because
means to
again,
them.
we
One of the things
fucked up
that
so bad last time. It's
Yeah.
pretty
what they
apparent.
want in the next Mass Effect game is to go somewhere new.
Okay.
To move
Everything's
forward.
okay.
New places, new characters.
Some fucking music.
New people to fall
It's
in
the
love
music.
with. We're taking you to a whole new region of space. This world is so
doing, Brandon?
vast
You
that
okay?
you can just kind of continue on to the horizon. There's more and more experience for the player to enjoy. Pick a planet across the other side of the galaxy and fly there and see what you'll discover.
Imagine what we can do now with the power of new consoles and amazing software. It all looks
No, show me. I don't want to imagine. I'm lazy.
This sounds like we're not gonna get any real look.
This real before. We think fans of the series are going to be surprised at just how far we're going.
Yeah, it's all just labeled conceptual prototype. It's not even.
Two people are working on this game.
But like for a couple of
While the
years.
Montreal studio is working on the next Mass Effect game, our team here in Edmonton is developing a completely new IP.
What?
It's a chance to have a clean
Yeah, they
sheet
split
design
off.
start
He's
out
working
with
on his own
the
brand new
principles
thing.
you can have.
We want to take on very contemporary stories, and yet we want to build
Dude,
a
that's
world
awesome.
that is as big and as imaginative as everything we've done before.
It starts off with baby steps. What are the environments? What are cities like? What are characters like?
So we're trying to build a fictional world that feels real and is alive and is constantly changing.
This is what the world is doing right now. Come and play.
At BioWare, we're building worlds and journeys for the next generation.
Come and
How
play.
far can we go with these new games? Wait and see.
That's a lot of
Hang on,
teasing.
that was all known? That
What?
Montreal was making
Yeah.
Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, he's off making his own brand new IP. Wow, that's like.
I mean, that's probably the way it should be.
Of The Sims.
Yeah, you get both of it. You get your new Mass Effect and you get something brand new.
Wow.
Sims with real
Is this pre-recorded? This seems weird.
We'll tell about these Sims will be entertaining,
EA employees up front.
meaningful, and sometimes a little weird. In previous
Sims 4
games, you
demo I got
controlled
was
the
creepy.
mind and body of your Sims. In the Sims
Yeah, you were
4,
talking
for
a
the
little bit
first
about that when we were
time,
doing
Like
the
You
a couple
control
of guys that were working on it were out there hitting on girls and having a party. And like, well, we got to invite the girl we met. I'm like, oh, what?
Brand new to The Sims 4, who they are. You define your Sims' personality. The traits and aspirations that you choose influence their emotions, how they behave, and how they respond to other Sims. So you could make a hot-headed athlete who loves literature, or a romantic nature lover with a touch of insanity. You have so many possibilities at your fingertips, so many Sims to create. The Sims 4 features lively, vibrant neighborhoods, rich communities where anything can happen. This is a deep simulation.
I'll give
where
her
every
this.
Sim
She seems
has
to be
their
going
own
for it the
story.
most out of
And
all the
they're all
people doing
connecting,
these libraries.
It's like I just
and
wonder what.
influencing each other's
Why wasn't this
emotions.
just a video?
So the local gym is a great place for me to show you how personality
guess, okay.
and
She's gonna
emotions influence your gameplay.
address
You can
herself
tell how your
and-
Sims are feeling at a glance.
There's a certain amount of politics that goes into these press conferences too,
Yeah.
giving people a chance to.
Energized. So let's meet Chuck. I've made him a hothead, so he's already prone to flying off the handle. And I can push him even further. So today he's really fired up and he's working out those abs. Well, how
Yeah,
does
like
it
the game
not an ad
has
machine.
the game has rage
It all
workouts
kicks
in
off
it. Like if you're
last
mad and you're working
when
out,
I
it's
introduced
more
Chuck to
effective.
Gladys,
Wow.
his rather eccentric neighbor. I made Chuck recite some of his poetry, but I haven't leveled up his skills yet, and frankly, his poems suck.
Oh.
So this is when the
least he's
power
trying,
of
huh?
our simulation comes into play. Personality drives behavior, creating richer stories. And in this case, Gladys hates Chuck's poem so much, she decides to get physical. Oh, Gladys. Losing
Oh,
really
Gladys.
ruined Chuck's night, and he's still mad about it the next day. Now, I feel bad for Chuck. Let's cheer
gonna make him a
up.
better poet.
And what better way to
Yeah,
do
totally.
that than by throwing a party? So it looks like it's working. The neighborhood.
Like a lot of the
showing
tools
up,
and stuff they
Chuck
have
is
for
now
reshaping
feeling
houses and all that stuff like
He's
look
cracking
good.
jokes. He's becoming the life of the party.
And all of the
Here's Gladys, and she's still looking for a fight.
like store or
It's
like
affecting everyone
user created stuff is now just integrated right into the game. You don't have to go to a
inject a dose of
website and
fun
download it and install it.
And I
It's all
know
just right
just
there,
how to do it.
shared.
I leap into the all-new gallery to look for something special. It's full of wonderful homes and Sims created by other players. And for the first time, you can share their Sims complete with their full personalities. I can bring another player's Sim straight into my game. It's that simple.
Party
So,
time.
ladies and gentlemen, meet Princess. Now the party's really booming.
Yeah, booming.
Check out those dance moves, huh? Chuck's having so much fun he can't stop laughing. I'm pushing his emotions to the extreme. In fact, he is
Now we're getting gaslighted.
What? Oh.
He dies of
He
laughter.
died from emotions.
So where else can you find moments like this? The Sims 4 is unlike anything ever made.
Yay! Fuck that guy!
Quality and humor. And the possibilities when you play with life are so
Maybe if you worked out a little bit better.
We invite you,
You
to
just
play
have too much fun.
stories on September 2nd, when you'll get to
Are
play
they trying
with
to say
the next
having fun is a
generation
bad
of The
thing?
I get. They need to create that crew from the end of Weird Science that comes in and like breaks up the house.
Yeah.
Like invite them over.
Where Sims with new emotions connect and collide for the first time. They're smarter with big personality.
But death lingers around every corner.
You control them. Their
Don't
stories
dance too
are
hard.
yours to tell.
Don't feel.
They are friends.
None of the feels?
It's like
Sure?
none of the
Oh,
feels.
no.
You'll feel yourself to death.
It's like Final Destination, Sims Edition.
Their stories and play with their lives like never before.
I didn't know death was weird, Sims.
Empty your mind.
Whoa.
Be formless.
UFC?
Shapeless.
Yeah, probably.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water.
Road Rash is back.
They just overdub it on top of it.
The actual UFC, but I think the sport of mixed martial arts was started by Bruce Lee.
I think he was one of them guys that made martial arts mainstream. Before the UFC, before any of this stuff was about, guys wanted to be Bruce Lee.
Just a magnificent, extremely powerful being. He's someone that I strive to be like, and it just makes you feel powerless. Cause
So I played a couple of matches in this during their Pre-E3 event. It's well, the demo's out there now, so I think people have kind of gotten a feel for the control and stuff. But it's not quite the.
Hold on. Ordinarily, I would agree with pretty much anything John Jones has to say about fighting. After all, he is the UFC light heavyweight champion, and I am a 5'8" game developer that shouldn't be in his weight class. But he did get one thing wrong. This year, in EA Sports UFC, anyone can be like Bruce Lee. Virtually speaking, of course. And whether you're playing as Bruce Lee, or John Jones, or GSP, the team at EA Canada has been working hard for 2 years to make it the most awesome experience we possibly can. So let's jump into the fifth round of a battle between Bruce Lee and the prodigy BJ
You think he
Penn
bought that Bruce
and
Lee
see what I'm
shirt just
talking
for
about.
this?
I'd say it was maybe provided for him.
You can see both fighters are rendered in tremendous detail, and the effects of the previous 4 rounds are evident on their legs, their midsections, and their faces.
It's really weird to think of Bruce Lee as a real
My
person.
strategy, if I was facing
Yeah, I
Bruce
mean, he
Lee
was a
or
real person.
anyone
Yeah,
related
it's
to
like
one of the octagon,
It's weird to think of him like
BJ
he would have
Penn
like
was a
been
Brazilian
psyched about
jiu-jitsu
UFC and been like competing. Like that's the part that's weird for me.
Well, he's so much of a character in our minds as opposed to, based on an actual.
I mean, he also died before, at least some of us were born. So
yeah.
And here we go. He's going to start locking
Submission
in what's
system's
called
weird
a
in this
mounted
game. I don't know how I
triangle
feel about
submission,
it.
which I'm sure sounds like a lot of fun.
How does this?
but
So you're
trust
just
me,
choosing
it's
a
not.
direction?
It's use both sticks. So you kind of like the player trying to get out of it has to push any one of the directions out to the outer edge to get out, and then the other player has to hold match that direction to block, and then the player trying to get the submission occasionally sees a left stick prompt, and they have to flick in that direction, which will sink in the submission deeper, and then reset all the progress.
Gotcha.
for the
There's like a little
defending
tug of war mini game.
Yeah.
And exceptional athletes can do exceptional things.
I like the camera.
Okay.
Jump off the cage and get people in the head. BJ Penn's got the heart of the champion, but the brain of one of our producers right now. And that means good night.
Ow.
I don't think he's getting up from this one.
Let's take another look at the huge kick.
No. And that's just a quick look
His
at
throat.
EA Sports UFC. We
Quick
can't
look.
wait for
Yeah.
you guys to feel the fight for yourselves when the game drops next week.
Gonna
Thank
drop.
Damn.
Yo, that game is
Great
gonna
job,
drop.
I didn't realize that was coming out next week.
Man, that game looks amazing, and I love to play it.
now here is a different bald man to tell you about another sport.
Tell me how you really
The same question.
Did I just pass out?
What will
Yeah.
change
What
in the
happened?
NHL franchise when it finally comes to the PS4 and Xbox One? My answer,
the piano
almost everything. Starting with a new generation of hockey player, one that comes alive with intensity, athleticism, and emotion. NHL 15 will also give you more control than you've ever had to embarrass your friends and truly create those amazing highlight reel goals.
I'd play a little bit of this and have nothing to say.
On all 12 players and the
Looked
puck,
all right.
bringing a new level of
Looked like
toughness
hockey. I
and
don't know.
unpredictability to every game you play.
And that's Giant Bomb's
I have-
hockey coverage
yeah,
for
I have
2014.
no-
NHL 15
I have nothing of value
brings
to
the
add
energy
to
of
the
the sport to
conversation.
life in the most detailed arenas we have ever built. This is the beginning of a new generation.
Who's that
of
hockey series that Midway put out?
And on behalf
NHL
of the team
Hits.
back at
Those
EA
were good.
Canada, I'm extremely
That last one
proud
was
to
good
give
anyway.
you
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
first
his was
look
great.
at actual
And what was
gameplay
the
in
Wayne
motion.
Gretzky one?
This
That was
is
Wayne Gretzky 3D
NHL
hockey for
15.
N64.
That game, I played a
I think
lot
they
of
did an
that
arcade
game.
version also.
Yeah.
When you're hockey.
Keep
Playing
going.
like Rush or something. Nicaravilla is hockey.
The autobiographical story.
I've been a dwarf.
If
all
they
my
really
life.
want to be authentic to hockey culture, they should just be blasting Nickelback and Bush at this point, because that's really all they play in arenas. It's like,
Gross.
cool, here's Machine Head again.
I mean, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
From these angles they're showing.
And this is the
Wow,
first
yeah.
next gen or current gen one they're doing, because last year it was just on 360 and PS3.
This looks like TV.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff looks great, but you know, when you're playing it, you see
Right,
it just from
behind the
above,
back.
and then
Yeah.
when-
Oh, is it right?
When play stops, you see another angle, and you're like, oh, the frame rate's not.
Oh God.
Thank you to the teams on UFC and NHL. 2 new awesome games from EA Sports. Now, if you know me at all, you know I have a passion for
And
cars,
I do. Yep. What? Who?
especially cars.
Patrick Soderlund.
Inside EA Studios,
Yeah, you used to do a
we have
bunch of
different
dice stuff,
way
right?
of thinking about speed today. For us, it's all about getting to the fun fast.
Think we're getting Peter Mortar in
We are
this thing?
changing the way we create. New tools and new ways of working allow us to explore more game ideas than ever. With this, we can bring a new feature, level, or environment to life in a matter of days or weeks, and actually feel how fun it is. Now, some of these ideas will work, and others won't. But the ones that make it into our games will be awesome. Who better to show you what I'm talking about?
Okay, so you just described the creative process, all right?
Thing or two about speed. Now listen, we don't typically show things this early, and let's be clear, this is early. But it's also very cool. And let's be honest,
A lot
we
of
all know that
conceptual
there's no way we
stage
can
stuff.
Keep this a secret.
Is he setting up the next Need for Speed? Is that
maybe?
Or Mirror's Edge?
There's a lot of quality.
Oh, it's a Criterion thing. Okay.
At Criterion, we come from a world predominantly experienced through cars. It's
now we're
time
going
for us to
helicopters.
explore new adventures.
Helicopters.
Helicopters.
Actually, maybe
Imagine
it is.
what that could be.
Helicopters.
It's Burnout, but
crashing
helicopters.
into each other.
With Criterion, it's all about the experience. Our history is in cars, going really fast and taking big risks. High action, getting physical, speed, danger, huge crashes.
Oh, man.
Crashing's cool.
Just quit E3 and go play Burnout Paradise.
Hold on, I want to
This is
play
a new era
Burnout
for
Helicopters.
Criterion.
We've reinvented our office. We've taken away any individual desk. The whole
Got
team
rid of
now
most of
is
the people.
really
They're
Oh,
Deep
too
cut.
soon.
Yeah.
When we're ready for build review, we get in front of the screens and we play the game.
play the game, figure out a new change that needs to be made, build it, and then within about 5 minutes, play the game again.
Because in our experience, the more times we go through that, just the better the game
We have
gets.
2 months to make a game.
So this new IP gives us the ability to move beyond cars, which is just so exciting.
We've got ATVs, we've got helicopters, we've got boats, we've got wingsuits, we've got parachutes.
They talk about wanting to do
jumping over each other,
planes
through
and
each
stuff
other,
and
under each
Burnout.
other.
That's right, yeah.
What's the most
That
exciting
add-on had
thing
some
I
of
can
that.
do in a plane on a jet ski?
There's not a single
Drop
vehicle
chemicals,
that we've talked about
obviously.
I don't find exciting.
Really been inspired by what we've seen people sharing in the real world. The first person.
Is this basically just like an episode of MTV Sports, but a video game? Like, is Dan Cortez going to show up here at some point?
He's going to give you Burger King table service.
This is a
Shout
first-person
boom!
game.
And then
And then guitar lick.
So if you get in a vehicle, you're going to climb in the vehicle. Your hands are actually going to touch these things.
And it means
Yeah, that
an
looks real
expanded
prototypey.
landscape.
So many different types of terrain that we've never been able to explore before.
Our players can go anywhere. They can make any experience they want.
You're walking around our world and you're just looking at the
They're making
vehicles
Just
and the
Cause.
scenery. It feels epic.
It really is an ultimate game.
I really hope Just
Without
Cause
guns,
shows up
I guess,
today.
but maybe.
This is going to be the biggest game Criterion's ever made.
Weird. Weird.
That whole
The biggest game Criterion's ever made with the smallest staff Criterion's ever had.
No title either. Just unnamed Criterion game.
Yeah.
Criterion is looking at things differently, and at EA Sports, we are too. So today, I want to share a couple of cool
His
things.
Twitter name
coming
is
out of
EA
Tiburon.
Sports Golf.
Football's going to take place on the moon now. We're thinking bigger too.
Delivering authentic
Basketball has guns.
fun fantasy courses.
Golf with no clubs. Imagine it.
To where you could go and what you could do.
A lot of very
Now, for the
unformed
first time
stuff
ever in a
during this
sports
thing so
game,
far.
Yeah.
we're Frostbite 3.
Seems like they're, to stretch towards getting 6 new games, they're showing stuff that they're games, but
while also pushing the boundaries of golf to places you've never been.
Pushing the boundaries of golf.
Pushing the boundaries of golf away from Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
As fast as humanly possible.
Golf without limits.
What? Finally, realistic sprinkler rendering. Okay. Okay. All right.
Cyber Tiger 2.
Wow. No, I just want to play the part where you're driving the boat.
Why did they get rid of the Tiger Woods license? This could have been Cyber Tiger 2. Golf without limits, golf without giving a fuck.
Yep.
All right.
we got tired of making fucking golf games.
Over a battleship. We look forward to
I like
showing
that their
you more in
like
the coming months.
title has gone back to the most like staid PGA Tour golf, but meanwhile the game is nuts.
Defense to be more fun. And we get it, because defense is nearly half the game. With Madden NFL 15, we're
sure. I mean, I don't-
your experience on the defensive side of the ball. Let's start with your perspective. When you're playing defense, it makes sense to have the camera behind you. So we've introduced some new defensive cameras that'll allow you to read and attack the offense right in front of you. Next, if you're a defender and you get locked into
Yeah,
a
like
block,
weird tackle
that's
cones and stuff.
now you'll have much more control.
Oh, good, because cones are always
You
so
choose
great
the
in these
direction to
games.
Push your opponent during a battle. You can push him to the side to close up a running lane, or you can push him forward to disrupt the pocket. You can shed a block, or use a
disrupt the
pass
pocket?
rush move to break
I want to
free
disrupt
and take
everything.
down the QB. And open field tackling has always been a challenge. So we've redesigned how you make a tackle to get more consistent results.
I feel like they
tiered
literally
tackle
say that
call
every
makes
year.
it easier to zero
That
in on the
exact
ball
sentence.
carrier and set up
Every
the
year they
appropriate
focus
attack.
on defense.
Yeah.
That's certainly what they say.
Conservative tactics are the most reliable, giving you the greatest chance to take down your opponent. Or you can take a risk with an aggressive tackle, but it'll take more skill. Up close, you can pull off a big hit. Further away, you can dive towards the ball carrier to stop him in his tracks. Look, I could go on and on about all the defensive improvements in Madden 15.
But they won't let
here's
me.
the point. You're going to have more control on defense than ever before. Now, instead of feeling like a liability on defense, you're going to have a lot more fun.
That
We
okay.
also
They always
want you
do
to
this
feel
thing where
the
they, like,
intensity of the NFL. So we
bury
have
their
100
previous
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
Fun to
yeah.
watch.
and
Yep.
reactions.
Like last year,
These play out in
We really
real
fucked
time,
up last
basically
year.
gave you
replacing
venereal
those
disease. This year,
We don't know how
We
you guys
cured
even
it.
survived
Yeah.
last year.
How'd you guys even play that game last year?
yeah, God, who
What,
made that?
what kind of asshole would have bought last
Who
year's
would have
game?
made that game? Some real dicks. Anyway,
Definitely not us.
they've changed play calling significantly, or I guess they've got some interesting stuff, ideas with play calling where it's like, in this situation, X% of other players playing the game chose this play.
Huh, that's kind of cool. To
like-
give you rather than just
Right.
so at least you feel like you have a more broad set of options if you don't know
Yeah.
what you should be picking.
Let me tell you a story about the other side of the ball.
There's no little stitches on it. It's all flat. All right, that's my story.
Protection, the safety net. But the best defenses aren't just a net. They become more than that, way more than that. The Steel Curtain, the Fearsome Foursome, and now the Legion of Boom. They all had one thing in common.
Dumb names.
They shut down their rivals by imposing their will.
Jeez, they really recreate that throw?
Make that transformation. Shed every block.
Sherman's on the cover, isn't he?
Yep, he won the voting.
Really?
Make every tackle.
He's a lot of fun. He's a good pick.
He's also he's the highest paid defensive player in the league now.
Yeah. Well, he's also one of the has the best personalities.
Definitely the highest paid corner. Yeah.
Did he overcome the kind of brief bad PR after the?
Yeah.
Oh, that was everyone was being stupid. He had just made the biggest move of his career.
Yeah.
Allowed to talk a little shit.
The dude who owned that California Chrome horse said way worse shit during his post-thing interview than Richard Sherman ever did.
Oh, that's right. They're still making this thing.
This is that MOBA, right?
Yeah.
MOBAs were super die-hard. We put it in the players' hands at a very early stage, and we were just kind of like, we're going to build this in front of you guys, and whatever you tell us about this,
we sent out some press
releases,
releases,
whether we like it or not.
We got it in people's hands early, and just everyone said like,
It's constantly getting better for it.
Is there anything different about this game, Brad? Like, do you have any?
I haven't played it. Some of the guys I play Dota with have said some decent stuff about it. I guess it's got a few interesting ideas, but I haven't paid any attention to it.
But builds on it by focusing on a flexible metagame.
Like when they say classic MOBA. Oh, what are you talking about?
The role your team is choosing, so the game is going to play different every single time, allowing you and your team to genuinely try new strategies.
Oh, they made it look like League, but League is putting out an update to make itself look more like Dota.
In any position in the game. When we set out to make Dawngate,
he in the forest?
There's a tree in your way. There's a tree in your
doesn't
shot.
matter where he is, okay?
All of the characters that you play, the map that you're playing on has been conceived of in a massive epic story arc. That's really just
That's what people are looking for in a MOBA is a massive epic story arc.
Yeah. Lizard monk, very zen.
There is a little spirit wisp dude. I love the design of that guy.
Big guys.
No. Blizzard.
I love the design of that guy.
Blizzard owns the Wisp trademark. Get it right.
Making supports and playing supports the best. I really like that we have a whole section of the world that's devoted
Perfect
to
tweet from Andy Clare. You thought
bookish
sports were
nerds.
boring? Haha, here's a MOBA, you fucks.
Dude, if you can't geek out about something,
Fuck you.
we're probably not gonna have
Sorry,
a good
Brad.
time hanging out.
Like the only thing worse than real sports,
We
or
built
digital
this team
sports.
specifically to make this game, to make Dawngate. We're a group of hardcore MOBA players, so we knew if we were going to make something awesome for our players, it had to be awesome for us. The sky's really the limit. Dawngate has been designed to entertain you. The opportunity is there.
Is that
for
guy
us to
doing
go
a
wherever
voice,
we
or is that
want,
just
as
his
long as it makes
voice?
sense for the player.
I don't know. When you got to record a trailer bit 900 times,
Yeah,
you might
sure.
slip into a
Is
characterization of your
that
own voice.
first wobble bass in a trailer
This
of the day?
is an amazing time to be making games. But it's really an amazing time to be playing games. Every year at E3,
I will murder you all.
Agree with me. I love the cool
Unleash the gas.
but I also love the conversation. For a lot of us,
He might
it's
come
the
out in
first
Joker
time we
makeup
have a chance
next.
to come together and interact. So, we hope you like what you've seen so far today. And now listen, I'm a little biased, but I think we're doing some pretty cool stuff. So tell us what you think. Challenging us to create the best.
Where can I
most
join the
ama-
conversation?
Oh, that's a good hard freeze right there.
Stream's still going. He just locked up.
Yep. Someone please reboot the EA CEO.
Peter Moore comes out, like presses a button.
It's like Data. He's got to like kind of get up in there and just hit the switch.
Something falls over in the back. You see Peter Moore with a microphone just talking like coming out of his mouth. Like, whoa! Never mind the Peter Moore behind the curtain. Is there anything? Are we still running and this is just hosed, or what's the story here? You guys?
We're
No,
fine.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we're running. I just mean, like, did our
feed go?
Or did our feed go, or did their feed go? Where did it break?
Check if you want to check GameSpot and see if they're also dead in water.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Showing all our secrets.
Twitter does not seem to be reacting to a freeze, so
All right, well, let's just live commentate.
Well, good news, it's Mirror's Edge time
great.
right now.
Mirror's Edge is on. Man.
I mean, if you go to EA.com, they've embedded their own Twitch channel if you just want to like get that
Yeah,
PC
wanna
over
pull
to
that up?
or something. Like whatever our feed is down here. So they're calling Mirror's Edge 2 a conceptual prototype, just like the other stuff from the looks of it.
Oh, cool. Man, 2015 is going to be awesome.
Or incredibly disappointing. I don't know which. And now their shit is locked up.
Oh, the internet, you know?
Yeah.
Well, if they're just doing another one of those conceptual prototype teasers, they're really not showing all that much. So maybe I'm not missing out.
We could probably pull this segment up after the conference is over.
Yeah.
And that's when you
there we go.
There's
not
something.
just the environment, but also what is it that Faith can do.
So for a skilled player, they might
We
find
want to keep an eye on the our original feed too. If that comes back, I think it's better quality.
Yeah. Safer, longer routes.
It's important for us that everybody who wants to play the game can play the game. And not only are we building a broad moveset, we're also building combat with the moveset in mind.
You would analyze the geometry in a combat encounter to see how you can use that against the enemies. When we talk about combat, we are selecting very special sounds for that. We're having very tight, controlled hits. They kind of speak about Faith's power and efficiency because she is a projectile.
There's gonna be guns, man. Come on.
No guns, no guns, no guns. They can have guns.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It just don't want Faith to have guns.
That
right?
was the
We are redefining
thing that
role
apparently
of
kept this game
runners
from
to
happening
allow
for
more
a long time was the
varied
guns
gameplay,
versus no
for
guns
more
argument.
varied
I bet.
experience. We will expand on
Who
who
won?
she is in this world, why
Don't
is she
know.
doing what she's
You
doing.
don't get to make the game
what's
till you
her
put in
reason
guns.
for being Faith.
This is
I
a
don't know.
girl that actually tattooed her eye. You do it for a reason. Is to make a point.
We're creating Faith.
I'm sorry, did that guy just say you get your eye tattooed?
Yep. Yeah.
Who would do that?
Someone who wants to make a point.
Motherfucking Faith. That's who.
Well, that was a whole lot of
It
nothing.
looked very Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. Well, at least they're not gutting Mirror's Edge, you know? They're not turning it into a shooter.
no, but their approach to how they're showing some of these games is really
Has
strange.
the emotional pull that keeps the world coming back season after season.
Like, it seems like they're getting away with showing a bunch of new stuff without showing any
Much.
new
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like this whole 6 new games thing was
Like,
not.
here's some stuff we're theoretically working on that might still end up dead.
You're not actually seeing how these games look.
Also, a reminder that they have an hour and 20 minutes left to fill.
Yes.
So, how's that going?
Maybe they'll come back to
2
those
full
games?
Dawngate matches.
Yeah.
Show their emotion based on the context.
Unless they don't go until 2.
I mean, yeah, maybe that was just the time they booked,
Yeah,
just in case.
They booked 12 to
It's a
2,
level
but
of creative expression as a game developer we've only ever dreamed of, but now it's alive in FIFA 15. Our player control system brings an all-new level of
I feel like this is the exact same thing they said last year, was like, you can run in a tighter circle. The control is better.
Let you cut, sprint, and explode out of turns. And our
I mean,
new
there's so
ball
much I don't
physics
know
system
about
models
these
movement
games
depending on
that
precise
it's
contact
hard
with
for
the
me
ball.
to.
Like, what's the equivalent of the jetpack on the grenade for FIFA?
Yeah.
Like,
Man-to-man battles, there it is. That's the arm getting blown off of FIFA 15.
Like, yeah, it's hard for me to know with any of these games, like, what is sort of a significant difference.
Right, like what was a problem in the previous one?
Right.
That they're, like,
And these, I
addressing?
mean, they're based there. I mean, they're annualized franchises. They are like Call of Duty, where if you're embedded in them, small changes probably seem bigger than they would. Someone could look at the Advanced Warfare and be like, yep, that's just another one of those shooters.
FIFA 15 will have
Because it is,
atmosphere that
but
you can
yeah.
feel. The Poznan at Etihad Stadium, the frenetic
That's right, there's
energy
some
of
like
the
emotion
era,
system
the
in this game that's like if
Anfield.
one of the players fucks
Feel
up, all the other
immersed
players
in
hate
these
him.
iconic theatres
Like The
of
Sims.
sport.
Yeah.
Witness the sights and sounds that make you feel just like you're there. On the pitch, boots will leave their mark. Hard slide tackles will tear the turf, and kits will get dirty. Ad boards animate, corner flags will move, and goal frames clatter on impact. The entire stadium is alive and packed with emotion. All of this adds
I think
up to a
FIFA is the game where
experience
probably the
you'll
crowd
feel
matters the
the
most.
emotion, intensity, and athleticism of
Bad.
football.
All
There's
right.
much more news to come before we
Football.
launch this fall. This year, you will feel the game.
Unlike every other year
Careful.
where you felt nothing.
That felt like a threat.
Nothing.
Football is the greatest drama on earth. This is our stage, our theater. I was born into it.
Others
Sounds like the
were
GameSpot
adopted,
EA feed is back up now.
but we're
Yeah, that's what
all
people are saying.
connected. If you don't believe
yeah,
we're
sure.
family, you haven't felt what we felt.
We might miss a little bit of FIFA, which
Agony,
really unfortunate.
tension, heartbreak.
But nothing will prepare you for FIFA. I'll just keep going.
Yeah, you're doing good.
The emotion.
Your butt's blown out by soccer.
This isn't fiction. This is real life. Our life.
Wait,
The stages
that Idris
are
Elba?
real. We can feel
That's
them.
believable.
That's what people are saying.
That does
Yeah,
sound like
yeah,
Idris
Idris
Elba.
Elba.
Who is it?
Idris
Luther
Elba.
is narrating his FIFA demo.
Man and take their place
World Cup's
as
canceled.
legends. Our heroes run through wars
We
to
are
ignite our
cancelled, yeah.
imagination. An entire season changing.
I need to watch
in
Luther.
one
I don't
game.
see
One
him
bad
acting with his
decision,
real accent
one
enough.
slip. But one magic moment.
It is a very British dark crime show, like all the other British dark crime shows, but Idris Elba is in it, so that makes it better.
We live for these moments.
This is just Idris Elba's demo reel for eventually replacing Keith David as the guy who narrates everything.
Nope.
Yeah.
One day, Keith David's gonna be gone, Jeff.
Would you ever hear Idris Elba introducing an Ice Cube album? No, you would not.
Why not?
Because Keith David is better.
He's still around.
He won't be alive forever, man.
Some of the others just
Shut
have
up.
to,
That's not
I'm sorry.
Shut the
You're
fuck
lying.
up.
they'll just have to recut all the Keith David stuff. They did like a phoneme thing with him,
Yeah.
so he could
Yeah.
live forever.
Just make a Keith David Virtualoid. Or Vocaloid.
I would play Project Diva F2 with a Keith David Vocaloid.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the trailer they put out last week, or leaked out, like, because everything in this game was just one of those things where you really start to wonder, like, did this start as a leak and then they just went with it because it was getting people talking about the game in a way that no one should be talking about this game?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, yeah, the real new Visceral game is the Star Wars game, and this is just sort of something they need to make in the meantime.
Every time those doors open, I feel like there's like machinery in the back that is just producing business casual white people, and it's just on a conveyor belt. They just get pushed out.
It's a new game that puts you right in the middle of the war on the streets between cops and criminals. When Carl Magnus and I first met several years ago, we talked about what would eventually become Hardline. He loved Dead Space, and
Wasn't
I was
a
playing
Battlefield
ton
game at
of
that point.
Battlefield 3. We started to think about ways we could work together. We talked about expanding Battlefield to new worlds with new
Then
weapons
Dead Space
and
stopped
new ways to
selling,
play.
and they said, how about you make a
3
mod
years
for
later,
Battlefield
here we
4
are
about
today.
cops?
Cops and criminals, good guys versus bad guys. This is the foundation of Hardline.
Now, we're always exploring new directions for the Battlefield franchise, but only if the ideas make for great games, and only if we have really passionate teams that want to build them. And of course, whatever we build needs to stay true to Battlefield's core values. So Steve and his awesome team at Visceral started out by building Endgame, which was actually one of the X-Packs for Battlefield 3. They learned what fans loved
We don't talk about Battlefield 4 anymore.
which is team play, strategy, lots of vehicles, open battles, and of course, destruction.
I think he's just used to saying the word sorry immediately after saying Battlefield.
Bringing a fresh approach to Hardline's campaign. It's much more like a great TV crime drama than something out of a traditional
Maybe a campaign will be cool. So I played some multiplayer.
But of course,
I didn't see
are
any
they
of the
building that?
campaign. I assume so.
Needs to be an amazing multiplayer experience.
Now let's check out some of the gameplay footage from a 32-player match and heist. This is an all-new mode where the criminals are trying to make off with the loot and the cops are trying to stop them. So let me paint a picture for you. It's a normal day.
It's Battlefield
downtown
4,
LA.
but a smaller
And all
map
of a sudden,
in Los Angeles. And
that guy had a
an
baseball
armored truck
bat.
has been taken
there you
out.
go. Picture painted, I guess. I don't know.
On the scene. You'll see this battle from multiple perspectives. This is cops versus criminals. This is hardline multiplayer. Let's take a look.
There are 2 capture points to capture things and bring it back to a point. It's a first-person shooter. The UI looks like Battlefield 4.
Sure, why not? It's been a pretty quiet
quiet day so far.
Breaking news. A heist is underway in downtown Los Angeles. The target? Armored trucks. Sky 5 News is reporting live from the increasingly chaotic scene.
Gentlemen, let's get cracking. We got a heist to pull.
Yeah, so
That's what
basically
people say.
Yeah. So yeah, in this mode there are basically two things that the criminal team is trying to steal and get to an escape point. The cops are trying to stop them. Eventually you run out of tickets. But yeah, you can see the squad system type stuff from Battlefield 4. I mean, that HUD is obviously very familiar. The unlock system is exceedingly familiar. You know, it's just kind of Battlefield on a different scale, which is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, Battlefield is a popular franchise.
Whoa. Is that a cop doing that?
I don't know. That's right. Criminals can drop zip lines. It's one of the gadgets.
Battlefield was a popular franchise and still is.
Yes.
How different is this from like a Payday?
I mean, Payday is like a 4-player co-op against AI thing. Like this
Okay.
is just a competitive shooter that instead of being about military dudes and terrorists is now about cops and robbers.
Right. They said this is a 32
So
player
it's
match.
last man in squad, you know, like all of that exact same stuff from Battlefield is here. It just is happening on a different scale. And the whole thing just seems like the sort of thing that like 10 years ago, like you would have put out, like a mod team would have made this and you would have been like, that's amazing. But now that it's like coming as a full priced product, you're like, this
looks pretty good.
This looks all right, but don't
get on the back of that motorcycle. No.
I'll say this: this is not what I wanted to see from the team that made Dead Space.
Sure. Yeah.
Whether they didn't want to make another Dead Space, totally it's fine.
Yeah.
Although
Is
I gotta say, I would have loved to see what Dead Space looked like on new hardware.
Yeah. Is this from that team though, or are they doing
Well, it's
Star
just
Wars?
Visceral. No, they turned into a 2 development team around the time of Dead Space 3. So yeah, sure, the Dead
Yeah,
Space
the story was
creatives
that this was-
may be on Star Wars.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it will be relatively popular. Though at the same time, like when they did the Battlefield DLC, that was like close quarters maps, like their whole like let's compete with Call of Duty with one of these expansion packs in terms of map size and stuff. Like no one liked it. So the idea of a smaller scale Battlefield game seems like the antithesis of what people like about the franchise.
I mean, some of those maps in 3, like they were saying, were like close quarters and
Yeah,
smaller.
and those were those were not popular. That's what I'm saying. Like those.
Yeah, I don't know, but I like them.
Me too, but I also liked Call of Duty a lot, so it was like, okay, cool. This is a Battlefield that I can handle. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing.
This exact scenario is happening somewhere in LA right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have, at your spawn, you'll have different vehicles and stuff. You can spawn into vehicles.
Okay,
You can deploy a mobile spawn point
And
drive
here's
it
your
over.
moment.
Levolution.
Yeah.
It's a lot of destruction for this armored truck robbery,
Yeah.
guys.
We made
Michael
a bridge.
Bay's Heat.
Yeah, the presentation for this game that I saw, they invoked Heat directly with a picture of Robert De Niro. Of course, I say if you're going to do that, you better fucking damn well be sure that you are nailing what you're going for. None of this does that for me. Like, this seems like it's cool, but not. It ain't Heat.
And all these dynamic moments are, Jesus, oh my God. I don't know why that seemed way worse than like all of the bullets flying, but there was just something about
It's real
that
silly.
that
Just like
bat to the
walking around
head.
and club you with a bat. Like what?
But like, do these dynamic moments, like, are these like as fun or exciting the second time? Like, they make for a really good trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't play enough of Battlefield 4.
By the way, over here someone's getting sniped. Over here there's a guy with a shotgun.
Were those moments still fun in Battlefield 4? Like the 7th time, like the building fell down.
It just became a tactical thing of just like, you know, to get to this point, we need to do this.
I mean, the thing they're not showing here, which is always my problem with the Battlefield games, is this guy has not died yet, so it looks like a fun like run and romp through this mission. Where like if I were playing it, would be respawning and running to a vehicle.
Yeah, and when you respawn, you can spawn in vehicles that are at your base. You can, you know,
like squad on team.
Yeah, you can spawn on your squad.
Right.
This is neat.
So those are player deployable zip lines.
Oh, really? So those aren't just in the map.
Yeah.
Do you know if there are classes?
Some of those maybe. Yeah, there are classes. And it's still just like, you know, unlocks based on your weapon usage and gadget usage and that sort of stuff.
I mean, some of this appeals to me because it looks like, at least as the criminals, they're rewarding driving vehicles like a maniac. And like, that's my favorite part of Battlefield is like, you know, driving through people and...
Oh, that's bad.
You're not going to survive that. Wait, how did he survive that?
Wait,
That's not how that
works. It's a Battlefield game. That's
And
exactly how
now
the
you're
Battlefield
under
works.
arrest.
If he pulled that ripcord a little earlier, he could have, you know, floated out a little bit.
Hey, look, a donut joke. Cops.
I mean, it looks totally all right, uninspiring, but like totally all right.
It will probably be very entertaining
If you're a gamer
if it
like
works.
I enjoyed playing
You
it.
don't want to watch games. You want to play games.
Whoa! Back off, man.
We're going to launch a beta of Battlefield Hardline today.
Okay.
Fuck you today.
Yeah.
Go to battlefield.com to sign up for a
I
chance
kicked Carl
to
the
get into
fuck
the
off
I
the
love when
stage.
stuff happens today.
Yeah.
and PlayStation.
Today's pretty cool.
It's first come, first serve.
Today and now are my two favorite words at
And here's
E3.
Adam Boyes from Sony
What?
to give you more details on a cool new way
What?
to get into the beta
What?
on PlayStation 4.
Hey, Steve. Game looks amazing.
Hi, Adam.
For a long time. My brother and I used to play a lot of Battlefield Vietnam back in
To
the
be
day.
fair,
But
Adam,
not
Adam and
four.
I have played a lot of Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you know that Adam
he's
Boyes
legitimately a
should be more
Battlefield player.
excited
Did you know that Adam
to bring
Boyes'
you the
Twitter name is
Hardline beta to
@Battlefield?
PS4.
Whoops.
Battlefield owners can simply
Oh, maybe
turn
they
on their
haven't been
console,
putting the actual people's names,
Oh,
just the
maybe.
properties
Yeah.
they're associated
Yeah.
with. Because there was
and
another
they click
guy
on
that
the
was
live
like
tile
EA
to
Sports and
download
Golf.
the Hardline
Oh, right,
beta
yeah.
and play it in its 1080p 60 FPS glory. It's really easy. But you have to get quick because this incredible console exclusive experience won't last long. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm out of here.
Hold on, I got 3 more bows.
I gotta go.
I read this script 5 minutes ago before I came on
What was that?
stage.
Just if you have Battlefield 4, you can
Yeah,
just
you can put
download
it
it?
in. It shows
So your
they have
feedback
a
at
link
this
to
early
it.
stage is huge
That's cool.
as we build towards our release on October 21st. While you're waiting for the beta to download, check out Battlefield Hardline on Twitch right after the show. We have 32 Battlefield players live streaming the game on
Notice he keeps
PlayStation
saying
4
32.
from a rooftop in downtown Los Angeles. And right here at the Shrine,
seems like a really
we have
shitty place to play a video
PlayStation
game.
4s for you to play after the show.
EA employees are psyched.
Yeah.
Look at all these televisions.
Where are they having this thing? That's not the Orpheum, is
let's
it?
start
Shrine.
E3 off
Oh,
right.
wow.
For everyone at home, on the rooftop, and right here at the Shrine, the Battlefield Hardline beta is live.
Oh, man, you hams.
That was
Have a
great.
E3.
Should have come out with a
So is that why they
magician's
put 2
cape.
hours? So they want people there
Yeah.
to play this
Yeah.
for an hour now? Okay.
That's it.
That's the
All
end
right.
of the
So
thing?
we have some actual downtime between now and
wow.
Ubisoft, I guess.
Oh, it's wait. That was
That's it?
That was it. That was the EA.
They're not coming back?
No, that's it.
That is it.
All right.
That's crazy. I don't know why they booked that for 2 hours.
So they can play that
So
game.
because they
so people
were
play
expecting people,
Battlefield.
if you were there, you
Right,
would go play
right.
Battlefield for an hour.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that I wasn't really thrilled with that one.
I think EA's got some problems.
That was extremely
actually.
disappointing.
Like the stuff that they showed that sounded interesting was all just like super prototypey, like stuff that it almost felt like they were scrambling to fill slots. It was like, well, we got to show this really early stuff because we don't have anything else. Like we can't go deep on sports again. It's just not going to work.
And like a lot of artist statements of like, you know, intent and, you know,
right.
Here's why we make games.
Like I'm not trying to forgive how underwhelming that was, but they are in kind of a transitional phase. You know, so the new CEO's only been there for what,
Couple months.
Yeah, a few months.
Yeah.
No Peter Moore.
Yeah, what the hell?
No Peter Moore.
I mean,
at
you know,
all.
they got to give the new guy his time to shine.
Yeah.
You put Peter
Yeah.
Moore on there, you're going to make that guy look even worse.
Well, sure.
But I feel like the Microsoft Dragon Age demo was
better.
Yeah. Like they didn't even do, like, if you didn't have a lot of stuff to fill, at least do a deep dive on Dragon Age. Like, hey, here's how the game plays. Like, we're going to show you. Like, the
here's this
trailer
cello
was super
performance.
confusing, and then it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, here's a PowerPoint slide about tactical view. Like, this could have been at least an opportunity to show, like, hey, hardcore Dragon Age fans, like, here's what we're putting in for you. And instead, yeah, that was really stretching 6 new games.
Did they even attach a name to that Criterion
No,
thing?
they didn't.
Nope.
No.
No name on
Pilot
that.
Wings 2.
Like no info about the new BioWare Edmonton game at all.
Right.
No, which makes sense. That's probably, like, if Dragon Age is this year, Mass Effect is next year, the new IP is the year after that.
2 years away.
But that was. It's cool
weird.
seeing stuff. Like, on the
Yeah.
other hand,
Yeah.
I don't want to disparage the idea of, like, seeing, like, crazy prototype stuff, like seeing the Mirror's Edge, like, just sort of combat sections that they're clearly just, like, you know, sandboxing different ideas they're playing with. That stuff's all really neat, but yeah, it really did feel like they were like, we got to do this press conference. Like, we're not just going to cancel it.
Right.
So what are we going to show?
ESA gives us this slot. If we don't do the press conference, we lose
Yeah.
it, and then
And
who's
there was
going to do
nothing.
one?
There were no live demos, right?
None.
Everything was canned.
Yeah, nothing.
Everything was
I
canned.
guess so, yeah.
I guess it makes Hardline being revealed ahead of time, like, all the more crazy.
Bummer. Like if that had been,
Because that's the centerpiece.
yeah, if that had been brand
was
new,
a
then you're
closer.
like, oh, okay.
Wait, so is that was all the Mass Effect stuff then?
Yeah.
That whole thing? I thought it was like watch it till the end. Was there no?
There
we have
was
to wait
no-
until like the extra hour, and they're going to come back and tease something else.
I guess not.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
work that way.
I mean, unless GameSpot pulled away to start their post show, and they're
No, they
going
seem
to
to
miss
No,
it.
because everyone was getting up from
Yeah,
their
all the-
tables.
all
So
Because they kind of opened. That was near the top, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that guy. Maybe they switched it, and you know,
They
that
wanted
guy was
to-
like, oh,
Instead of being Mass Effect,
yeah.
they got to say Hardline and Smoke.
God, that was so great.
Why
That was
would-
so
Oh
great.
man! Again, like, you know, yeah. If you think about that press conference in the context of, like, what if all that Hardline stuff wasn't out there? Because then at that point, the only thing they would have said is that there was a new Battlefield coming this year, because that was in an earnings call before Hardline stuff started to leak specifically. So that would have painted everything in a different light. But man,
But still, the corny way of, like, it's launching right now, and then
People on a roof.
what are you, a magician?
I mean, whatever.
doing?
They should launch it right now, but at the same time, like, it's a beta of a game that is built on technology that they are currently doing big netcode tweaks for and is still working to fix.
Is
with
that Battlefield 4
4
netcode patch out yet?
I don't know if it's out yet or not,
It's
but
soon.
it's, you know, like that game, you know, obviously had a very rough launch. You know, it took them a very long time to get to a point where it was playable, but it was a fun, solid product when it worked, or when it doesn't. And it seems to work now. But the idea of that they even need to have a beta for Hardline is really weird to me, because, like, well, they don't need to have a beta. This is the answer, but, you know, it's good that they are. I
It's
guess.
PR. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
betas are not betas.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, just getting people excited about it or
They
whatever.
are- they are early access.
Alphas are the new betas, and betas are just, like, tweaks and getting
Maybe
people
they
excited.
need to get data on the class.
No, I'm not saying that there isn't useful,
Like
but
the
it's
gameplay
but
stuff, less tech
like what a
stuff,
beta
more, yeah.
is, like, technically speaking, is not what these these things are.
So what were the 6?
There was Criterion game, Mass Effect game, new BioWare IP.
I guess if Hardline was one of those, then that would theoretically be
Hardline.
one.
Sims doesn't count, right?
No,
Sims,
no
Sims
sports.
was already announced.
Just PGA Tour, is that
PGA?
new?
PGA was new.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 5. And then
Mirror's Edge. Well, no, that was
I mean,
announced.
they
we
could
also
be
knew
counting
we also
Mirror's
knew that BioWare Edmonton was making a new game, so that doesn't really count
Right, yeah.
as a new game either. Like, that's old information.
I mean, that was the first time they'd showed anything from Mirror's Edge, right? I mean, even if it was just prototypey stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably then they're probably counting that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
maybe
again, it
not.
just seems like they were stretching the definition of what that promise was. But Dragon Age looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, having not played them before, like, this one looks really interesting. I don't know how it plays to the hardcore audience.
Yeah.
I wish they
You
showed
played
that
both of them.
tactical view more, because, like,
yeah, so they showed that when I saw
And
it.
it's
It
like
was more like an
pause
isometric
and-
kind of pulled out kind of thing, where
you
you
can
were
stop the
more
action
kind of ordering
and-
people. I think the implication was that, yeah, you could stop stuff, but I mean, the thing I got was so just rushed through it that it was such a short presentation that even that didn't necessarily.
Because the whole time they were
have a
fighting
lot of
that dragon
details.
in that over-the-shoulder view, it is like watching the guys get whipped by the tail just made me feel like, oh, those guys are going to have to micromanage them to be like, pull back, he's going to breathe fire and get behind a wall.
Yeah, that's the thing is like that game looks cool, but I would never want to micromanage or really manage the other characters.
I can do it in the tactical stuff because
yeah.
like when you can in the original Dragon Age when you can set up all the like behavior logic, like it actually worked really well to be like your spellcaster stay back and like you have this much health come back.
Right.
But like if it's pure on action, everybody rush, that could be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
Yeah, we'll have a chance to play that tomorrow, or Wednesday.
One of those days.
Oh wait, that MOBA is not new, right?
No,
Dawngate,
Dawngate,
no.
those.
It's been at
They've been
PAX
around
and
that
things like that.
Yeah, that thing was out there. So I'm in the chat. If you want to send some questions about EA or some other stuff, we'll talk for a little bit here and take your questions. Just send them to me as a reply, and we'll get a look at it. Seems like across the board, like a little underwhelming.
Very.
You guys,
I guess, yeah, like it
I don't know what I would have expected out of EA either, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, if you start thinking like, what did you want to see?
Yeah,
it was all the stuff they showed under the conceit of new games, just not enough to like give me a real good sense of what's happening with those projects. Also, makes it seem like all of these games are very far off, right?
Yeah.
Like Mirror's Edge, Mass Effect, all seem like next fall sort of things.
Right.
This year is here's sports, here's hardline.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, I mean, UFC's out next week, so that's, that's
I put that
really,
under
really
the
fast.
sports banner.
Sure.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's almost like if you took out all the on-stage stuff, you could have just released that entire press conference as like a 30-minute video reel with like all the segments, basically people talking under why they make games and like
Electronic Arts Direct.
Yeah, like kind of exactly like that, and just been like, well, we don't really need to do this live. There's not a lot of reason to do this live.
But I think
except for the Battlefield
EA,
stuff.
Jeff touched on it. Also, there's like a tradition, right?
Yeah,
EA puts on a press conference.
Yeah,
So
and if they don't, then, I mean, the ESA mandates those slots. So at some point, like if they didn't put one on, someone else would get that slot.
They should have just had 10 minutes of like hardline and then go play it and then like download the rest of our press conference. I don't know. There was something about it that just made me feel like, I don't know, is it 2014, 2015? Like, I don't know when.
Yeah, they didn't attach timeframes to any
Yeah,
of that
but
stuff,
yeah,
which is
I
fine.
think
Like, I'd rather they not attach a time frame than
than
lie to me about when they're coming out.
But I think EA's in a really weird spot. They have been for a while. They've been the brunt of some real raw hate over some of their practices and some of the technical aspects of their games. Some real frustration and stuff. Between SimCity and Battlefield 4, the ending of Mass Effect 3. Like, there's been a long road of like people just going like, man, fuck EA. So, in some ways, that was some of the safest stuff they could have said.
Guess, but
right?
it was like a little too safe. Like I feel like there was no real red meat or knowledge or fact. Even like the Star Wars stuff, even the Mass Effect
it was
stuff.
just like, hey, we're making it.
Yeah, and like we're really excited to make it,
Yeah.
and like we've got access to this stuff, and like we've always wanted to make this game. We've always wanted to make, and it's like, well, what can you do? What is the Mass Effect game? Like what? Give me something.
How do I shoot?
What's the Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Like give me a fact. Like is it 180 players? Is it 2 players? Can I get in a ship and go somewhere?
Right.
Off the planet.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a lot of just like we're pretty excited. You should be too. You should be pretty excited.
Why aren't you excited?
I am excited.
Oh,
We're all
okay.
excited.
Okay, well, that's
I
good
am
to hear.
very
Bruce Lee's
excited.
I'm not especially excited.
You're not
about
excited yet.
Battlefront.
You're not?
No.
Did you ever like them?
No.
Okay.
No. It was one of those things where it's like it was the console multiplayer experience that I would often look at and go, like, I have a PC. I'll be over here.
If you didn't have that,
if you didn't have that, then yeah, it had much the same impact of like SOCOM, which I did
Yeah.
end up enjoying. Of like, it's like I don't know any better, so this is obviously the greatest game ever made.
Or you just like you get a sense of like, oh, this is what people are talking about.
But like the people that make Battlefield making a Battlefront game, I think makes a lot of sense. There's a ton of like super iconic vehicles and stuff like that. You can
Can you imagine the
use in those
scale
games
of
and-
Battlefield with like Star Wars stuff?
Cool
Like,
set piece moments.
That sounds hard to screw up.
Like I like the Battlefront stuff. It was like dumb. It was almost Dynasty Warriors-esque for me, I guess. Of like that kind of like tons of people running around just shooting lasers and rolling over people. I I don't know. I feel odd.
I feel like
strange.
I just sat and watched a thing for an hour and got like zero of anything out of it.
I feel less certain about things than I did. Like, these things are supposed to bring some amount of clarity into things.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the clarity and the certainty is that 2015 is going to be pretty cool.
Or it's going to be incredibly disappointing.
Well,
one of the two.
Or everything will be so cluttered and, like, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of big games that could come out in 2015, and 2015 will be a big year, but it's...
When you kind of see the future of BioWare, like, kind of outlined there,
yeah.
like, that's one thing that you get some
and like I said,
knowledge
they
on.
did say that Dragon Age was kind of a template for them conceptually.
Right, so you look at Dragon
in
Age
terms
and you
of
can
the
see,
scope
like,
of that game,
and even the Mass
size
Effect-
of that world.
Yeah, even the Mass Effect stuff, they're like, oh, you're going to go to tons of planets.
Right,
It seems like they're going to try and bring a little of the exploration stuff
that sounds
back
cool.
To that game. And then you start to see what BioWare is for, like, the next 10 years probably of, like, just leapfrogging those games every other year.
For this generation.
And that sounds pretty cool. Like that, I'd love to see BioWare do a brand new IP.
Yeah, sounds like the beta signups for Battlefield are not working, which
probably
websites
hammered.
get rushed by people. It's
give it an
hard
hour.
I mean, our website's barely working.
What seems to be the reaction from Giant Bomb community?
It's just like kind of a wet fart noise, sort of like a sort of thing. So some tentative excitement about some of the same stuff I think that we're excited about, and depending on your tolerance for Battlefield, there are definitely some people that are saying that they think that looks good.
Mirror's Edge was not canceled.
Mirror's Edge
That's
not
good
news.
Hey, but you look, Ubisoft like showed Beyond Good and Evil 2, and then that game just went away for 5 years.
So say, that game's
the
not
fact
out
that
yet.
Mirror's Edge has been shown again, they will probably publish that game at
some point. Yeah,
I'll take what I can get.
Right.
I got Phantom Dust and at least a confirmation that Mirror's Edge is still around. And they didn't show any guns. Like they actually, like the bit that did show seemed to show a commitment to figuring out combat within like Faith's like athletic ability. So
machine gunless.
Exactly.
Yeah. PGA, Matt Rogan says the PGA game looks stupid. Have you seen any more of it? No, that's the first I've seen of it. I think it looks stupid too, but I think that's cool. Like
it's the most you've thought about a PGA game in 5 years.
Dumb golf game, just like I don't know. Sim Magic says no more EA partner games to fill the release gaps. No, they closed down the partners program.
Insomniac
Titanfall was like there was Insomniac. Titanfall was technically an EA partners game. But they don't really have the program running anymore.
No DLC. I thought maybe that might have been at least an acknowledgement of.
Oh, for Titanfall,
yeah.
Did they mention it here? I don't know. So they sent out a thing saying like, hey, just want to let you know, here's our E3 lineup here, and as a judge, we'd like you to consider these games for these categories, like for your consideration for best original game for this, and Titanfall was on there for best console game. I want to write back and go, like that game came out, like it's not. I don't even think it's eligible for an E3 award in that case. So.
Well, one of the things they've done in the past at EA ones is like they've like acknowledged the creatives that they work with. I just thought it was a little odd they didn't acknowledge it because they already said.
But when those creatives are like people of note and stuff, then yeah. But like, are they going to have Zampella stand up again?
Probably not. But I feel like
they don't have a partners program to have other. But it's not like they can go like, hey, Suda51, get up, you crazy shoes, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
But I mean, like Respawn is continuing to partner with. It just seems like there could have been places for them to do a little bit more. That, it just felt light in a really odd sort of way.
Yeah.
They should have fired the smoke up when that guy died from laughter.
Yeah, the Sims demo I got had Elton John in it, and
was he the life of the party?
He was teaching one of the guys how to play piano. Okay. There's like a mentoring system to get your piano skills up faster and stuff like that. Do you guys think EA will have another round of new IPs anytime soon? I mean, this would have been the shot, right? So maybe next year, but...
I'll have that new BioWare game.
Yeah, maybe that.
If that does well, maybe that'll lead.
I mean, Dawngate is new.
Yeah.
The Star Wars games are kind of functioning as like new IP in a certain way, like that original game from Visceral with Amy Hennig, like that. Think of that as a new IP. It's not a new IP, but like I think it's going to exist canonically within the Star Wars universe because now everything is like canonical. But that's supposed to be an original story. It's not going to be like an adaptation of the new film or something like that.
Yeah. Where was NBA Live? Yeah, they just announced that like yesterday or something that they were going to do it. I feel like they don't typically show basketball too much at E3.
Well, so they haven't
in
really
the past, even when basketball was
Right.
like good-ish,
better, shall we say.
Yeah, they never spent a lot of time on it here.
Yeah, I mean, today they literally just put out the first screenshot for that game, which was actually just 6 player faces kind of meshed together into one thing. So
yeah.
I'm guessing that game is probably a real long ways away from being showable. So
Also, like, how would they posture with that game? Like, basketball's back again. That last one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The one before that was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Like they just have a messaging problem with that. The best thing they can do is like have a really impressive trailer.
Right.
And otherwise, they just have to tiptoe around its existence as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Anything rumored that didn't make an appearance? No, I don't think I heard of anything EA specific.
I kind of hit all the notes.
Unconfirmed stuff? Like,
no, it's apparently the NCAA football franchise is really truly dead. Yeah, they let that license go. It's all a big lawsuit now. So there's not really much left to say. So so there's really not that much left to say.
Yeah, no, there really wasn't. I mean, the PGA Tour was like a surprise.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. That looks crazy. I mean, that could be cool depending on what their fantasy courses are, but that seems like the thing they put in there to say like, oh, we know people aren't excited about golf, so we show this in our initial reveal, but it's actually a small subset of the game. Because the game is still called PGA Tour.
Right.
Like, it's still going to be a goddamn golf game. Like, they might get weird out there, but it's not like 80% of the game is going to be weird shit.
I mean, I feel like they only have a handful of things they can really pull from anyway. It's like, yeah, Battlefield, okay, and then is there a football-themed course? Is there, like, a Mirror's Edge-themed course? Yeah, like, what are you doing?
They didn't show, I mean, you know,
Parkour
why
golf?
would you on some level, but they didn't show Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Oh,
Like,
right.
They showed that pre-show, like it's coming to PS4 and other platforms.
PC
and stuff,
version's not out yet, is it?
I don't think so.
No, it's coming to like iPad and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they're porting that around, and they didn't spend any time on mobile. It's probably wise. They even have.
Yeah.
I guess they still have Cholingo. And yeah, I don't know. There's It seemed like the new defense in Madden can break the game. Did you see anything in there that looked like too much?
I mean, I could see that breaking the game, I guess. I don't know. Like, the way they described it just sounded like the kind of buzzwords they throw out for everything that they
Shark
ever
stick.
do. Yeah, it's like...
The
I'd have
camera
to
angle
actually-
was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think 2K did that, like when they were doing like the first-person football stuff, like they would have the camera on the defensive side.
Right.
This is obviously third-person, so it's different, but I don't know. I'd have to get my hands on it. I can't even really tell what any of that stuff does until I actually play it.
Right. I thought the play calling stuff that I saw in Madden looked really interesting because it was stuff like, you know, in this situation, here's what the game thinks you should pick, here's what you pick, and here's what the community picks.
Right.
So it seems like, you know, it's hard to demo because there's no community yet, but it seemed like that could eventually like solve some of the problems around people calling plays and not knowing what they should be calling and that sort of stuff. Like, I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah. What happened to Fight Night? No game since 2011. Yeah, I mean, boxing's not an annual thing. Boxing doesn't change that much year to year.
Real boxing is barely a real thing anymore.
Yeah, and MMA is so much more popular these days,
Yeah.
it seems like, that, you know, they have the UFC license. They're going to focus on that. So, you know, I bet they eventually do a boxing game again, but not really anytime soon. So.
And hockey.
And hockey.
Hockey is now current gen.
Is there fighting in it?
There always is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hockey was the demo I got pre-show where the producer was just kind of like, any hockey fans in here? And everyone's just like...
It's a bad way to start a
Makes me
sports
so
demo,
sad,
is to ask
totally.
who's a... There's no, like, there's
Like,
almost
just
no way that's going to go...
Assume that's
yeah.
statistically, that's not going to work out in your favor ever.
Poor hockey.
Yeah, poor. I mean, sports.
Yeah,
games
just
in
yeah. You
general.
pull
I
any
know.
sports thing,
You know,
you're gonna get a
most-
token one
the
guy.
people, the people in my group when we got to Madden were even just like, so, you know, there you go.
Yeah.
I guess that's gonna do it for EA. What I was gonna pull up the calendar here. I'm trying to remember when Ubisoft starts.
Maybe 4?
3, I think.
3.
Yeah. So.
Take like an hour
Yeah, a
break.
little time.
Yeah, so we'll be, you know, taking a bit of a break here for a little over an hour. It's 1:15 now, so we'll be back at 3, or a little bit before 3 to get into Ubisoft. And we hope you stick with us. We'll leave chat up. You guys hang out. Maybe some other stuff will leak. That usually seems to be midday leaks. Someone snuck into Sony rehearsals and saw Asgardian.
We'll keep putting our ear up against the wall.
See if we hear anything here, and you guys keep your
What do you know,
eyes open
Biden?
out there too.
What do you know?
Biden knows. He just can't fucking say.
Oh, he's Biden.
That's the shitty grin of a guy who has seen The Last Guardian.
I mean, he's got.
It can't possibly meet your expectations.
I mean, he's got security clearance, you know.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it for EA.
Is it?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that was dark.
I didn't mean it that way.